What's up, everyone?
All right,
Amber
we're back.
back for Mass AI updates. Here we go,
Yeah.
Christian. Passing it to you, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to go over some updates in Mass AI and show you kind of what's happening as we evolve, because we have evolved. So we started out as mass content. The vision behind mass content was to create the copy and the posts for every social platform at scale with our mechanism called content funnels underneath it. Content funnels is basically just like it sounds, a way to use content to convert. And basically, we looked at all the things that are driving sales through content, what needs to be in place, absolutely critical to have in place with content to drive sales and leads. And so, just like a funnel can be used for any type of outcome, it can be used to drive leads, it can be used to generate low ticket sales, it can be used to book calls, it can be used to drive webinar opt-ins, webinar sales if you do a paid webinar, via people to a VSL, all those different things. Each one of those requires a specific funnel. Now the vision was very big on this, and we started out with, I actually saw my post from a year ago today where we were building everything with low code and no code tools. Quickly found out in order to do what we want to do, not possible, right? Especially at scale and rolling a lot of clients and stuff like that. Definitely not possible. It took way too long. Learned a lot about no code and low code tools. In fact, I'm going to share with you a way that we are automating the deconstructing part in terms of finding viral posts, deconstructing the copy like you would in copywriting, and then moving that into a template that we can create the same effect with the same kind of structures. But we're doing it 100% automated now. I'll walk you through some of that if we get to it on this video.
Okay.
But so we started there, and then we moved into our own app. Basically, like, okay, we need to solve this problem. So we found a really simple way to create our own app. We started building upon that. Obviously, had a dev team behind us, but a very small dev team, and quickly found out that in order for us to pull off content funnels and all the other stuff that we want in the app, we couldn't use the layout that we had initially started. So this was a really good starting SaaS, or semi SaaS tech startup story, right? I absolutely love tech. I've been involved with tech for years now, especially software related, SaaS related tech. And being a SaaS owner, or like a semi SaaS owner, it's a lot different than what you would think. There's a lot of pros, a lot of cons. But one of the really powerful things is there's a lot of things already out there that you can leverage to build a micro SaaS, or to build a tech solution that's already been built. So we did that, right? So I'm going into the background story just a little bit here. And so we milked that puppy until we couldn't milk it anymore, right? Like, we rode that bus until we couldn't ride it anymore. We basically used the templates that were given to us, and we quickly found out that in order to pull off what we want to pull off, we need to rebuild the UI, UX, user interface, user experience from the ground up. And so that's where we're at right now. So we are moving into Mass 2.0. Officially.
It's funny because it feels like 3.0 to me.
It does. It does, because we went through the very MVP with Airtable. So we kind of had like that first kind of like super.
But that wasn't really mass yet.
No. But the vision was still there. The concept was still there. The problems we solved were still there. All the good stuff.
So like, really, truly, Mass AI is about to launch. The Mass AI 2.0 is coming right now.
It's the real Mass AI. So it's not really 2.0, but it's the real kind of vision with what we had in place. Now, let's talk about the vision, what we do, the big problem that we solve. As online entrepreneurs, it's one thing to have the skill set to be able to do something and to do it, but you have to actualize the stuff, right? What that means is you actually have to go and build the funnels, build the email sequences, build the content, build the whatever it is. And so that can take a very long time and also a lot of money. If you look at the big guys, which we want to kind of get in that place where we can use mass to create the same effect the big guys do, being everywhere, putting out a lot of content, putting out a lot of offers, you would have to have a large team, a lot of money, and a lot of time to do that, and a lot of power behind you. We tried to do it with a lean team with all those different things, and it was still very difficult. So AI comes in, we're like, okay, this is the problem we solve. What do we solve specifically? Well, we call it the if factor. In other words, there are things in place that you need to make things work.
There's things you need in place.
There's things you need in place to make things work. My brain's still a little foggy. Sorry.
I know, it's okay.
Amber and I went through a series of interesting trials and tribulations where we found, like, you know, one thing that happened was we did a challenge. We're like, oh, this challenge is absolutely the key to growing business.
Challenges are the way to success.
Challenges are the way.
Ooh.
Webinars are the way. Content is the way, whatever that is, right? And it could be if. There's an if factor there. And so we started honing in on what is this if factor? How can we take that if factor and deploy it as fast as humanly possible, the most efficient way possible, with the least amount of resources possible? And so let's clarify what the if factor is. The if factor is systems. So if you have a system in place that supports a webinar, it can work. If you have a system in place that supports a VSL, content, funnels, email sequences, they can work, right? To what? To drive sales. But the system is the thing that moves it, not the actual mechanism. And so what we found is if we focus on the system instead of the mechanism, we can get all of those things to work for any type of situation.
Yep.
And so as we were going through this process, we said, okay, let's build the infrastructure on top of AI so we can create the if factor for pretty much any scenario. Let's say we needed a VSL. We can have a system underneath it with the proper copy structures, with the proper prompt structures, automation structures, and we can build that VSL with the supporting tools or resources that go with it to support it, system.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, okay, so we call this structured AI. Structured AI is the ability to come up with an idea, leverage the AI technology, deploy that idea to create all the things that go in the system, right? So instead of just creating content, we're going to create a whole entire sales system around that content. So we can, number one, streamline the content, and number two, do it as quickly as possible to drive sales.
Yeah.
You see? So one of the things that we learned throughout our career is entrepreneurship is you got to put out a lot of value, right? You got to put out a lot of content that brings people to a lead magnet, or brings people to a call booked, or brings people to a low ticket offer, or brings people to some type of value situation where they can clearly see that you are the way forward to help them. And so that's what Mass AI is designed to do. Doing that was an incredible challenge. But what I'm going to share with you is how we're pulling this off in the next phase in 2024. Okay. So let me go ahead and share a screen, and I'll show you some of the updates.
2024 just rolls right off the tongue too. Like usually when the year rolls around, I'm saying the wrong year, or like some other random 3 years ago. 2024 has like been coming through for months. I'm so excited.
Yep.
Here we go.
All right. So what you're seeing is our Figma here, and we've got the beginning stages of our new UI UX. Now we use a very templated UI UX to start things off, and that worked, but we couldn't pull off exactly what we want to do. And so what you have here is the Action Center. The Action Center is going to be where you start everything off. And you have to have a little bit of information about how Mass works. But basically what we do is we whip up what we call a data set. That data set will be all the psychological pieces that need to be in place in order for that campaign or system to work, right?
Okay.
So if you look at sales systems and sales channels, it addresses very specific psychology, sometimes to the degree of um, even the way it's ordered, that psychology is really important in sales systems, in funnels. The structure of that psychology, the way that it's ordered in place is really important. And so you can actually do that with AI.
Yeah.
We call this a data set. And so basically you'll start off at your action center, and you'll have unlimited amount of data sets where you can create a data set around any problem that you want to solve, which would address the 15 to 16 different psychological triggers that must be in place to drive sales. Make sense? From there, this is basically the action center layout. So you can have your data sets here, all kinds of different data sets, your voices that go with the data set. So basically you can customize the data set to fit your brand, your audience. We talked about the types of audience earlier. So you can toggle like, is this going to be a attention-based audience? Is this going to be a skill-based audience? So on and so forth. So that's kind of where you start off. Then you have the ability to create your data set. And we're moving into, if you're familiar with Mass, let me log in here real quick so that gets out of the way. If you're familiar with Mass, we're doing this in a very kind of, sorry, give me 1 second. We're doing this in a very kind of click button kind of way previously. Still there. Dude, get out of the way.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Great.
All right, so you whip up your data set, and previously you would do this and then you would basically copy and paste it. And that was super clunky. Our users really didn't like that. So we restructured everything to where it's clickable, right? So here's your data set. You can click on the data sets that you want. You can add new data sets, so on and so forth. And you have two different options here. We call this fast start or start campaigns, basically selectable or non-selectable, which means, do you want to select the options or do you want it to whip it up for you and just create the whole data set for you? So you can select, this is a selection area. You select your data set and you can move on to the next step. You save your data set. Then we go into, we can start to create your brand voice. So you're going to create your brand voice based off your website link. You can paste text, you can add a doc, or you can upload files. You can customize your brand voice. Then we move into creating your campaign. Now, this is where it gets really powerful because you can create a campaign from one single post if you wanted to. So let's say you had a Pinterest post or you had a Facebook post or you had whatever it is. Because the data set is the same underneath it, you can select that Pinterest post and then you can say, okay, here's the voice that I want to use with that. And I want to go ahead and create a landing page. I want to create reply templates for outbound or inbound conversations. I want to create Facebook posts. I want to create blog posts. I want to create email sequences. I want to create things that turn leads into buyers, like every single thing that could be involved in a campaign. And depending on what your campaign is it VSL related? Is it low ticket offer related? You would just toggle those bits and pieces and then you go and you create each piece. And so basically what it's going to do in the background now is going to just go and create, go and create, go and create, go and create. And so I want to share with you in visual, basically like this is our funnel layout. And we just took a really good kind of funnel template and you can still see the funnel, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And basically what it will do.
Yeah, the same thing, the Mass V2 campaign.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
No, we're on the wrong one. Oh, it's okay. I just showed inside of Mass, but we can go there in a minute. It will create these things. And basically what it's going to do in the background is it's just going to auto create, right? So everything that goes into that campaign is going to auto create. The email sequences, the landing page, the social media content, your YouTube scripts, if you're doing YouTube, your YouTube description, your hashtags, all of it. We're going to create everything with structured AI, right? And then you'll see down here, there's like, go and get a coffee, go and take a lunch break or whatever, and come back and everything will be laid out here.
Cool.
And then you can toggle different views. So you can toggle like a board view if you wanted to, like a Kanban a calendar, or a database. And then basically when you open it up, it will open up inside of the builder. So let's say you
Cool.
had a Facebook post, or let's say you had in this case, a blog post. The blog post would be laid out here. And then you could either regenerate if you wanted to the single post, or you can deploy it into your blog. Right. And the cool part about this is we're keeping the sales structure underneath it. So the content funnels will be working underneath these different content elements, driving people to the thing that goes to make sales or to drive leads, right? So like your funnel, your email sequences, so on and so forth. So everything is created by the system. I would say realistically, we're looking at anywhere between 60 to 80% of the work being done by the system, which can save agency owners, coaches, anybody that's in marketing, anybody that's needs digital marketing, a tremendous amount of time and money and energy. Right. So you're taking something that would take weeks to months to do, sometimes even years to do, and condensing it down into a process that would be done in a matter of 15 minutes with the structures that we've used to grow our business to 7 figures, right? So understanding the copywriting structures inside of funnels, understanding copywriting structures inside of VSLs and how those two go together, then how to get people from a post to that funnel or to that VSL, or from an ad to that funnel to a VSL. Mass will be able to create that at scale, right?
Holy
So essentially doing like what a building of people would do, or what a small team of people would do and take weeks to do, paying a huge amount of money. We will be able to do this because of our structures and because of our systems inside of Mass in record time. And that can be deployed through any type of medium, any product, any offer, any service. And obviously the golden goose with this is, building your agency around this, building your coaching program around this, where you can have a high ticket offer, you can have a done for you offer, you can have low ticket offers, you can build things for people, but you can use Mass as kind of like your, secret weapon to deploy this stuff really, really fast. This will also help, network marketers or people that are in the beginning stages, because literally took years of experience and knowledge and skills, loaded it onto AI, and now the AI can do a good amount of that effectively. Because if you were to try to take this to ChatGPT and do it, you could probably pull it off, but it would still take you a good amount of time, because our system is doing like anywhere between 10 to 25 prompts per section in the system, right? So if you wanted to create a lead magnet, you're looking at, with ChatGPT, you're looking at anywhere between 25 to 50 different prompts going back and forth. That'll probably take you at least a few hours to build, right? But because we map everything out with a data set, you refine that data set, you can pick and choose from different ideas around that data set. And then once we have that data set locked in, you can deploy the entire system around solving the problems that particular product or service, or whatever features or benefits, if you're into that thing, then you can deploy the entire system that way. And so literally what took us years to do and discover through our process now can be done in a matter of minutes for a lot of beginner, intermediate, and advanced online entrepreneurs. The difference is beginners, you got to learn the skill to do this, right? That takes a lot of time. For us, years. Now you can rely on something like this to supplement the skill or supplement the systems while you learn enough about the skill to get the results that the skill will provide.
Ooh, like water wings.
Exactly. So if you're beginner or intermediate, that's definitely a huge, getting faster money, getting faster results without learning, spending years to learn the skill set. But if you're advanced or intermediate, here's the thing. You might have the skills, but doing them over and over again, that's where we got stuck.
We got burned out.
We got burned out. So it's one thing to have the skills, and it's another thing to do them over and over again. It takes a lot of time, energy, and resources. And I really feel like we're filling a void here. Yeah. That's really, really powerful.
Yeah.
And amazing. So this is the beginning.
It's like making money while you set things up. It's
Yep.
like the long-term and the short-term solution combined.
This is the beginning of some amazing things. We have some of this already built inside the system, and I'll go ahead and actually one thing that I want to share with you too. This is for people that are already in mass. This is going to be really exciting for
Yay.
you because we're about to roll out over the next couple of weeks the AI video side of mass as well. So all of this will obviously tie into video. You'll be able to streamline your content with videos and create like Hermosi style videos with the system. Whether it's faceless without your face, you have the system whip up the video based on your scripts and based on your content and based off your data set. You can do it that way. Or if you have your own video set and you want to chunk it down, let's say you do a YouTube video and you want to break it up into, or a podcast, you want to break it up into 5, 10, 15 different videos, whatever it is, you can do it that way. Or
Yes.
if you want to take a link from the internet and have it whip up the video or text to video, it's all going to be inside the system. And
You
the
guys.
best part about this is you can do it at a campaign level, meaning all the things that get attention and move people from the video into your campaigns is going to be inside of the system. So here's the beginning stages of our video.
Wait, hold
will
the
be-
phone for a second. This
Yeah.
will be this can be part built into your campaigns, but what Christian said that some people didn't hear because you snuck it in there like so quick. What you said was you can take a link from a video and this application will backwards engineer it, keep the structure, and recreate a similar already viral video for you.
Yes.
So what does that mean?
I'll share with
Let
you.
me also just, you don't have to show that yet if you don't want to, but to take a link into AI is not the most common thing. It's usually
Now it's pretty
okay.
common.
In this case,
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, especially now because OpenAI released the ability to go into web browsing capabilities and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
okay.
It's not in a lot of apps, but
Well, I haven't seen it.
the biggest piece I would say with this is with video is we are able to infuse the video to the campaigns. In other words, we create the campaigns and then we create the videos that go with the campaign so we can get people through the sales system,
Yeah,
right?
makes
And
sense.
so you see a lot of people doing this. You see people using video to generate leads, people using video
yeah.
to generate sales and stuff like that. But the speed is really important. And so
Mhm.
we're focused on speed.
Speed
And
and
so
volume.
speed and volume. Yep.
Mhm.
To do a lot of videos really fast,
To
right?
get enough of them out, you have to be fast.
Yep. And
Yeah.
so you'll have the ability to bring in the Hermosi style captions and like all the famous influencer
B-roll.
captions. You'll be able to select and edit those captions, change the colors, change the highlight colors, yada, yada. Then you'll be able to add shadows, strokes, display how your captions are going to play out, like one line, one word, 2 lines, yada, yada. And then you'll be able to add sound effects, AI generated images that show up in the video at any place. So like in front of the person talking or like behind the person talking, those types of things. Or as a B-roll type feature. So you see B-rolls here. The B-roll can be video or image. So we can cut to or select the B-roll. Let me see, where's it at? The B-roll. So here's your images, your B-roll images. You can pick the transition as they come in with the images. You can pick the placement of that B-roll. And this is just us kind of getting started with the basics of it.
Mhm.
But we'll have that's rolling out in the next couple of weeks, the AI video section.
Being built as we speak.
Yep.
A
Now,
lot of it's built.
a lot of people
Not done yet.
a lot of people wanted to see kind of what we call visual, Mass AI visual. We released this last month, and basically what we discovered is, this is just a template funnel that we had that we use as kind of like a testing thing. But we basically said, okay, how do we use AI to create an entire funnel with the copywriting structure underneath it, right? And so we're like, this is really difficult, but we found a really powerful shortcut or hack, I guess you would say. And basically what we did is we created a drag and drop builder similar to this. Inside of that drag and drop builder, we created the ability to program a specific prompt onto that drag and drop builder. So it's a combination of a drag and drop with a prompting system. Now we're moving into auto prompting, where you will not even have to generate the prompt like where it says generate here. You'll just generate one time and it'll automatically build the funnel underneath it. And then you can go and adjust it with the drag and drop system. And the best part about this is we have a direct integration with Go High Level at the top right here, where you can just sync to Go High Level and it brings the entire funnel into your Go High Level account, right? And that's also on the email side of things.
It's so smoking hot. It's not even funny.
So you build a funnel with your campaign, and then you build the email sequence that goes with it. And this is the email sequence that goes with it. And once again, those emails are auto-generated. And then what you do is you sync to Go High Level, and boom, it syncs the whole entire email stack with that funnel into Go High Level, right? So think about like those Go High Level agencies right now that are building snapshots for their clients. They're building funnels for their clients. They're building all these things, and they have a snapshot already pre-built, but then you got to go and build all the copy and you got to set up the snapshot. Well, this will basically create the entire snapshot, right? So we can actually make this a lot faster. Now that comes from your data set. So you can create your data set. You can create all the things that go into the data set, and the data set is deployed throughout the entire structured AI system. And then it creates the email sequence, it creates the funnels, it creates the content, it creates the ads, it creates everything underneath it. And it's auto creating the entire stack. And then you go in, you have a copywriter or one person designated on your team that's pretty well versed in this stuff, and they can go through and fine tune. But they're going to get 60 to 80% of all the work that needs to be done to run that system all dialed in. And so this is just the beginning stages of it. The next thing that we're bringing into the system is internal and external posting to the social platforms. What I mean by that is like, here's Facebook, here's our Facebook posting system, right? You can have the AI create the post with your campaigns that go with the funnel, that go with the emails, that go with the blah, blah, blah. Then you can distribute and publish those posts directly to Facebook, either in the platform or export the data and have a Chrome extension that connects to Facebook where you can auto distribute from the Chrome extension. You see, and then obviously we scale out. We're going to start with Facebook with the Chrome extension, and we're going to have Chrome extensions basically for all the big networks that will interface with Mass, but also directly interface on top of the platform as well. But you'll have a very familiar feeling with like you're building on the platform, so you can feel like you're on the platform as you create your content.
Mm-hmm.
So we have stories. Stories just came in. We have Reels as well. Our Reels system just came in. And then this would basically set the tone for all the other social platforms, which will be toggleable. And as you create your campaigns, they'll all be populated into those architectures, where then you can go through and then distribute and set up your calendar to distribute all the way through the entire social, space.
All the social channels.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Pretty
that's
incredible how far it's come, honey.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff. That's kind of where we're at right now. Now, let me get into a little bit about how we're doing this. So obviously one of the big bottlenecks was like, how do we start to search for viral content, deconstruct the viral content, and get the viral content structures inside of Mass? Well, this is one of the automations that we built. This automation here will basically start off with an Airtable kind of influencer, or like anybody that you wanted to model that's already going viral, that already has a really good, really good content. You want to model that content, but you want to use copy. Basically, the copy like mentality is copywriting means that you're copying copying the structure of that original thing because you know it's working. The structure meaning the underlying psychology. You know it's working, but you're going to change the writing, right? So you're going to copy the structure or the control, and you're going to change the writing. Well, that's what
Mhm.
we can do with AI if you understand how to interface with AI correctly. But part of this is scanning the internet to get that content so we can deconstruct and then reconstruct. And so basically what you're seeing here is that. And so I'm able to take any link, right, from any influencer, from any social channel. And right now we're just in testing phase with this. And this is for our prompting system. So we can get all that content loaded into mass when it's all structured out. And so basically this is what it does is it scrapes those profiles. It'll pull in the content, and then it's going to pull in the content already deconstructed for our prompt engineers so they can go and load it into the system. Now, this is basically like what I learned with Mass 1.0, or the first kind of MVP with Mass. Now we're using it to speed up our process with what we're doing to load the content. And this has been the biggest bottleneck for us, I think, through the year, is it takes a lot of time, energy, and resources to do the prompt engineering correctly. And so we found a way to automate it. And basically, this is kind of what it looks like. Let me show you. So when somebody is dropped, when we're scanning, we're pulling in data. I just did some tests with like Layla Hermosi and Alex Hermosi. And this is just me testing here. But what it does is it pulls in all the details.
I
It gives
think I don't know if you're showing us something that we can't see.
oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay though. I mean, we see the colorful
Yeah,
circle.
yes, I just saw that. Let me pull in the right link. It's weird. It only shares the one window.
It only shares one screen when you share. Yeah.
There we go.
Cool.
So this is it, the interface here. And basically what it'll do is it'll pull in, scrape all the data, right? It pulls in the
From a
influencer's
link.
name from a link. It pulls in the
Mhm.
influencer's name. It'll give it a virality score. So it's running an algorithm. It'll give it a virality score. It'll tell me what stage of the content funnel it's on. So is it attention? Is it talking about systems and mechanism, value, internal, external objections, lead gen, sales, all those different steps inside the content funnel. And then what it's going to do is it's going to give a post brief. So this is all 100% automated, by the way. And it's going to also give me the original video, MP3, the captions like deconstructed from MP3 to text, and then also the prompt that we need to load into our system. And that's the prompt that we're using, or the prompt system that we're using to basically replicate that style. Right. And so this is the beginning stages of us really fine tuning our prompt engineering side so we can absolutely load the system with all kinds of viral content. Right. And then reconstruct that content so we can have that same effect. Not by
Is that
copying the
insane?
content,
That's
not by
insane.
copying the content, but by modeling the content. That's what copywriters do. We
Mhm.
model. We model because we know what's working, and we model and improve, right? So we use the baseline model to understand what's working and why it's working. And then we improve that model and put our own spin on it. You see? And that
Yeah.
is copy. That's copywriting.
Yep.
Copy the structure, copy the model, and recreate the writing. Okay.
Yep.
So this is I just wanted to share this automation with you and like kind of where we're at with everything. And I hope that this is super exciting for you, because we are definitely moving into a hyper acceleration phase and putting the pedal to the metal with what we're doing in 2024. But that's all I have for now. And I think I have some more updates. But one thing I want to say is, if you've been watching us for a while, we did not do a price increase for 2024 yet because I was sick, right? I
Mhm.
was like, we wanted to tell everyone, but then I literally could not work. So this is a warning right now. As we move into Mass 2.0, prices will definitely go up, especially for partnerships. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, we have a partnership program. If you're watching this for the first time and you're kind of getting, understanding what we're doing. Don't worry about partnership, but there's a lot of people watching this that are already in our network and they've asked us about partnership. Partnership is going to go up tremendously coming in the next few weeks. There's a few reasons why. We can talk about that. If you're interested in partnership, we can talk about that on a call. We're going to break it down and show you, everything that's changing with partnership and why it's going to improve tremendously. But partnership will go up a lot. And then we're looking at the front end, the user license and the coaching program that goes with it, going up a good amount, but not a lot, but definitely going up quite a bit from where it's at right now.
Yeah.
So this
To the
is
point
definitely a
where
good
if you-
time to join.
If you've been thinking about it, like to the
Yeah.
point where if you've been thinking about it, you're definitely going to be glad if you reached out sooner.
Yep.
We would have done like an end of the year. We're scaling in the new year, pricing changes. So I think of it like kind of like a gift, right? Like Christian was sick and we didn't do that yet. So you have a couple weeks left. If you've been in our world for a while and you want to talk about current pricing, Christian's the type of guy that just keeps layering on the value, just FYI. So like maybe you can tell by this live, to be in our world from the beginning of this, its inception, to be here now, I think you can feel the vibe. If you're just coming in now, it's only gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
So you got a couple weeks left because we didn't get a chance to increase pricing yet, but we planned on it from early last month.
Mhm.
So you got a little couple weeks there to figure some things out. If you're inspired and want to be a part of the AI movement, we knew when the world changed, when AI really hit the ground running a year ago, we said we have 24 months to go all in on this. We're going to set the stage. We're going to draw a line in the sand and we're going to become leaders in the AI space. It's been more fun than we expected. And it's a really solid niche to be in because it's the future and we're
Mhm.
not going backwards. Right. So
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
here's a couple things. So this is definitely a good time to join the system right now. The version 1, I guess you would say, is still good, right? You can still do the things that you need to do with it. But as we move into V2, which is weeks away, it's going to become incredibly powerful. And we're definitely setting ourselves up for that. We're about to run a series of events and do all kinds of sales forward activity. So I would, if you're on the fence or if you've been watching us for a while and you wanted to come in at some point, but you just haven't quite done it yet, now is definitely a great time to do that for a lot of reasons. But getting your feet wet with the current system and getting training on that and then moving into V2, because with the current system, there's a little bit more skill learning and you can learn some really valuable things with copywriting and with structures and systems that you might not get in V2, because V2 is
Ooh.
more like automated and like hardcore.
I hadn't thought of
Although
that.
in V2, we will have V1 in the background, but I would be willing to say most people won't even use V1 anymore. V2 is going to be just absolutely powerful because everything is mostly done, like I would say to the tune of about 90% in terms of building out the assets and stuff like that. Realistically, let's go 60 to 80%, but I would say up to even 90% like click button deployment.
So
Right,
I'll
so-
reiterate what Christian just said and shine a light on it and answer a question in the same time. How will this affect new mass AI clients that just came in recently? The cool thing is you're going to get to watch us scale. And frankly, if I were you, I'd be like, "Whoa, I'm glad I came in when I did because I'm watching these prices go up."
Good
That's
for it. It's only
that's
good
going to
for the
be
people
the
that came in before. Yeah.
that's going to be the experience for those of you who've recently come in, and it's been the experience all along, right? But you're going to go, "Oh, holy cow, like that was smart. I got in first." So also, what Christian's saying is those of you in version 1 or volume 1, what's your V there, Christian? Is like version 1.
Yeah.
So those of you in version 1 had to do a little more hands-on work than you're going to have to do in version 2. And so what he's saying is you gained knowledge that you might not even know about. And what's really cool is that probably comes through in all the work that you do. So you built a skill set that you might not have known that you built that those coming in the future won't necessarily have to build because the app's going to do more of it. But if you come in now, you're going to learn those skills. It'll affect your revenue throughout the year. And then when version 2 rolls out, you'll have access to that as well.
Yeah,
Just
you
to kind of
nailed it. That's
reiterate
it
what
right there. That's it right there. So as we were developing and learning and understanding and putting a lot of pressure on the system, we have to teach certain things that people don't really know yet. That can be a pro and a con, right? It's
Mhm.
takes a little more time, but it's incredibly valuable. And a lot of that information is in a program that we used to sell for $18,000,
Yeah.
right? So we kind of like funded our way to where we're at now, and also simultaneously brought people into the system by lowering the price because we knew it was going to be a little rough, right? We knew it was going to be a build and we knew it was going to take a little bit of time. So we lowered our prices to anywhere between 37 to 8K, depending on when you came in.
So
You
what you're saying is in the 8K offer, there's a lot of
18K stuff.
a lot of the 18K offer stuff
Yeah.
because it was necessary because you needed to learn it in order to make version 1 of Mass work the best for you.
Well, we had to fund the program, and we also had to we had to sell it, but we also knew that it wasn't quite where we wanted it to. So obviously prices are lower. We use that to get feedback from the audience. We took all the feedback and put pressure on the system. We
Yep.
realized what we wanted to build in terms of like our beginning stages of the dream app and the dream tech to build online business. Now we start refining that, and obviously prices go up, and also simultaneously the learning curve goes down, right? So the learning curve can be a good and bad thing. You're going to learn some really valuable stuff there, some of the stuff that's in our 18K program, but also it takes a little bit of more time to develop that skill or learn that system. In the near future, Mass will be able to do a lot of that, not all of it, a lot of it, but tremendously speed up the learning curve and the time. But the takeaway there is you also don't learn that stuff, which could come in useful, could come in a very powerful way as you build business. And so there's a trade-off, right? So if you've been watching, now is the best time to get kind of the best of both worlds.
Mhm.
Come in, learn the knowledge and wisdom that we bring to the table as we start to coach with you and work with you, and then learn what's possible. I would definitely say that we're probably one of the front runners in terms of testing with AI and getting creative with AI and really putting some pressure on what's possible with AI, specifically in the area of online business growth, right? AI is a very broad topic, but we really focus on, exponential growth with your business using AI, right? There's a lot of
Yeah.
talk about that, but we're constantly testing
And social media
abstract
content.
ideas, testing copywriting ideas, testing ways to automate things, all this type of stuff. And what's on the roadmap, I didn't talk about a couple features that's on the roadmap coming in the next few weeks to few months. Seriously powerful stuff. I can't say it publicly here because
Ooh.
obviously other people have more
Ooh, ooh.
ways to build than we do, and I don't want to
That's
put
amazing.
those ideas out into the world except for our core group of people until we have it fully built and like rocking and rolling. That way nobody can copy that. Right. And so that will be coming in the near future. But I will tell you this: if you're building GPTs or anything like that, like doing that type of thing, it's awesome. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it. And it's more personalized to you, what you do as the expert. But the problem is people are still going to Chat GPT and you lose your authority, right?
There's a little hanging around in the background, honey.
So you lose a little bit of authority because those people will just, take your GPT and use it and then go to Chat GPT. The other
Totally.
side of it too is it's missing something that drives sales, and we're building a system that will supply that inside of Mass and externally outside of Mass as well, that will connect to Mass. And so this is a really, really powerful position to be in. And we're starting to break ground on that, and we'll be rolling that out over the next like 6 weeks or so, maybe 8 weeks. We'll see. But
I can't wait to see what it is.
yeah, it's powerful
I
stuff.
like
So
that there's
if
a
you come in,
secret, but I'm gonna make you tell me tonight.
if you come in over the next, let's say week to 2 weeks, you're going to get access to that. That will be a separate program that you have to pay for, obviously segmented out, but you'll get access to that. So that's kind of one of our bonuses. If you're using GPTs or custom GPTs, this is going to be a super powerful feature, and it will be a really powerful way to drive leads and sales using GPT, custom GPTs.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the other thing that this is on my mind, so I'll share it. I think the other thing that kind of sets us apart in the market is that we've built this from the start to campaign things to drive conversions.
Yeah.
Whereas, there's a lot of cool stuff out there that I think is made to create a great user experience, but maybe not built on top of like really solid high level sales and copywriting conversion. It's for conversions. That's what I love most about it. And for me as a user, because I haven't said this in a while and I haven't said this here today, I don't understand the tech that much. People give me a whole heck of a lot of credit, but my brain gets a little fried when Christian starts talking. But people give me credit because I'm married to him. But here's the thing. I use it as a user, right? I coach in our program as the mindset coach. I'm a really great promoter. I like showing up on social, but I use the app like a user, like a client. And for me, it was like a light switch. It was like people finally hearing what I'm right. Like my messaging was amplified so much that it was like a light switch of like inbound people asking for lead magnets, viral posts, 2,000 comments on a post, tons and tons of sales without sales calls, high ticket sales. My first high ticket sale ever on Instagram. Went live, did a 5-second reel, not even live, a reel, and closed a $3,500 deal within like a day from that reel. And I've never gotten sales on Insta. So I'm just closing my part out of this by saying, I don't really understand how it works. I do a little bit, but I just know that it does work. And that's all that matters to me. So the more I use it, the more money I make.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
All right. I can't wait to hear what the next level. Thank you, Christian.
Yeah. So a lot of good things coming, and hope you are excited like we are. And especially if you're already in the program, what's coming in the next couple weeks will be quite powerful. Partners, get ready. Partners, it's going to get crazy here in a second in a really good way. So, so yeah, lots of good things coming, and that pretty much sums it up for the updates call.
Yeah. We're going to have an updates call moving forward, live streamed multiple places. There's a really cool updated client calendar that I'm going to post about in our client groups. Very, very fun, extra value coming in the new year. But for those of you tuning in publicly, we're going to live stream 11 a.m. Eastern on Mondays with updates moving forward. So you can mark your calendar wherever you tuned in from today will be the place you could tune in from next time at 11 a.m. Eastern moving forward for the first quarter of the new year. And if you guys are interested or curious or want to hear current pricing and look at the features and really see what it would look like in your business, send a private message to myself or Christian, and we'll get those calls booked in over the next couple weeks before the prices ramp up for the new year. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.